whenever I'm working on a new deck, I just I just sit and shuffle, usually commander decks, but yeah, the MTG stands for Magic the Gathering, and yeah, I played competitively for 20 years.
Oh, competitively. Wow.
Yeah.
Did you know gosh, why am I blanking all of a sudden? Pancakes, have you met Pancakes yet?
No,
He's in the Godforge content creator community, and he made a card game at some point. So curious to
Cool.
hear about your experience making games, right? But he
Yeah.
did like coverage for a lot of the Magic the Gathering Grand Prix and tours and whatnot. So
I wonder what his real name is, because I would definitely know him.
yeah, y'all have probably met in person before.
Yeah, I
So
would, yeah, yeah. I used to travel all over the eastern U.S. For Magic tournaments, and I was a writer on QuietSpeculation.com, the finance website. Yeah, I did all kinds of stuff for Magic the Gathering.
when did you get into it? Like what set?
I first started playing in Onslaught Block, but like the first new set that I remember coming out was Mirrodin.
Mirrodin. Okay.
Yeah,
Onslaught was a good block. That was a really fun draft block.
it was. I don't think I ever got to draft it though, sadly.
It was because didn't that have the at least the first, if not the only set where it was all creatures?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we had so much fun drafting that.
Yeah.
I
It was
go
crazy.
like this with Magic. You know, it's like I get into it. I get into a set maybe across 2 or 3 drops, and then I realize that I've spent $300 that I'll never get back, and then like I lose the people that I'm
Magic
playing
is
with.
the hobby that pays you back.
I never cracked that code. I never did.
No, oh, we'll have to talk after the stream. That was how I survived for a large part of my life. The teacher's salary just doesn't cut it, so I was buying and selling Magic cards, and then that turned into owning a card shop, and you know, but I sold so many cards to pay for so many things. It's crazy.
Oh wow, yeah, you and Pancakes. If y'all don't know each other, you got to talk. This is like exactly how his episode started. It's
Oh,
like the
nice,
same
nice.
story.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you party people, it's Ned Crash. Today we're joined by MtgJedi. Thanks for joining, man. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, my pleasure. Glad we could make it work. I know I had some scheduling difficulties, so appreciate your flexibility also. And I'm excited to hang out. I love doing this kind of stuff and meet your audience and whatnot. I'm sure some people know me already, I would hope. And if not, then let's bring the party.
Yeah. So we obviously were talking about our favorite card game. I'm assuming it's still your favorite card game. I mean, like I said, I go through phases, but I always loved it. I've never stopped loving Magic.
Yeah, I would say probably so. I mean, it's just will always have a part of my heart, and I love the commander. You know, if I
Yeah.
haven't played competitively in a while, but like sealed pre-releases and commander, just like some of the funnest things you can do with games, I think.
100%. Yeah, the Commander is my favorite group setting game, and I like multiplayer. I tend to like that more than duels. And then Draft is my favorite format in general.
it.
But the only time I really tried to get competitive, like constructed, was during the Valakut Ramp deck. Whatever.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I built Valakut Ramp. I bought my Titans. I got that deck running. I learned how to do it, and you know, I never made it to state or anything, but like I did my local card shop circuit and won a bunch of small stuff, racking up the points before I was like, I just don't like playing the same deck over and over and over
I
and over
know.
again.
I know. That's always the hardest thing for me too.
But then it became my tester deck, so I would test everything against Valakut Ramp and I think Jund, because I
Oh yeah,
built a
Jund
Jund
was
deck.
really big then too.
Bloodbraid
I
Elf,
played
that was
Naya
super
during
fun.
that time period.
Oh, cool.
If you remember the boss Naya deck, you would search for 1-drops with like Ranger of Eos. You had Stoneforge Mystic to get Basilisk Caller so that you could like Death Touch Ping, kill everything, and
Yeah.
it was like value aggro. It was one of my favorite decks of all time.
And that was one of the metas where 3-color worked for so
Yep.
many different purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. I think the last time we played was fairly recently, like a year or two ago, when they did the like anamorphic animal set or whatever. I had like a couple of like legendary frogs that were silly. It was all
Oh,
like
yeah.
woodland
Yeah.
creatures.
Uh-huh. I know the name. Oh, it'll come to me. I'll tell you. Bloomborough.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah.
Bloomborough, yeah.
What drove me crazy though was that it's kind of similar with Raid actually. Raid and Magic share this in common right now for me, which is that I get tired of a company creating like an original IP that's actually really interesting, like Planeswalkers and whatnot, then just sort of going after a multiverse of IP for monetization's sake. So like when Alien came out in Raid and like Arbiter is fighting Alien in a video, I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Like, this completely takes me out of it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, I'd be fine if especially Magic just left all of the universes beyond out. I do like some of the IP stuff in Raid. I do.
Yeah.
And I think going forward we could see some other cool things with IPs. So I guess it's like a love-hate relationship. There are parts that I love, parts that I hate. I thought I was going to hate Alien and Predator in Raid, but as it turns out, they're awesome. I think they really fit. I think it's cool and interesting, and they just did a really good job graphically. Obviously, you know, that's what they're known for, but it's true.
For sure. So you mentioned starting a card shop, selling cards, ultimately starting a game company. We all know you're a successful content creator. So let's like go back in time and talk about that trajectory. Kind of how did this go?
Well, it was all Magic all the time for a long time. You know, every weekend, multiple weeknights, anytime we're playing Magic. And that started in college. We would go to all of the local card shops. And then I don't know when I started writing. The writing part would have been probably after I graduated college. But that was just like a way to monetize my hobby other than just like buying and selling cards. And then maybe after like 10 years of that, you know, it was oops, I accidentally bought a card shop kind of a situation. And it was a kind of a long story, but that is actually what happened. It was an accident. One of my best friends and I, there was this big deal, and the end of the deal was, okay, well, do you just want to buy the shop off of me? And we were like, okay. Like we didn't set out to open a card shop, but we ended up owning one. And I owned that for about another 10 years. As far as like the content creation side, like I feel like I've always wanted to do that, you know, with the writing articles as like the first piece of that. But it wasn't until Pokemon Go came out that I actually started trying to make content other than, you know, just the strategy articles. They had, like, I had stopped writing the articles for them, and I started my YouTube channel, the main one, the MtgJedi one, and it originally started with Pokemon Go. And I loved Pokemon Go. I played it every day except for 3 days where I was too ill to get out of bed for 5 years.
Were you a Pokemon card
I missed 3 days in 5 years.
That's crazy.
And then they made a crazy decision in the game that just absolutely wrecked it for me. With how, like, you had to, like, level up. And basically what it came down to was I had caught some insane number of Pokemon. But, like, let's say, take Eevee, for example, you know, a very commonly known Pokemon. I had caught thousands of Eevees. And despite having already caught that number of Eevees, they said, okay, now catch 1,000 more. And I was like, no, no. So I still play that game very casually. I still love it, but I think that company kind of ruined it for a lot of people. But that's how I got started in making visual content, like videos and stuff. I took a camera around and filmed. I snuck a camera into GoFest in Chicago. like the first one. I did all kinds of stuff. Like I met some of the big YouTubers, and I just like I could not get the channel to catch. I know now that there's some like behind the scenes algorithm stuff that I could have done, but like not that much. It just never caught on. It just never found the right people. And then I started playing Raid during COVID.
Yeah.
And that's when TikTok had come out. So I was kind of taking a break from Pokemon Go because I couldn't get the channel off the ground. I did almost daily videos on Pokemon Go for over a year, and I still couldn't reach the 1,000 subscribers. I was at like 500 something after, 300 videos. And like at that point, like there's something that's wrong, right? I'm not good enough. People don't like the way I do stuff. I don't know, whatever it was. I had some videos that got good views, but maybe too much clickbait. I don't know. Either way, moving on. So I started playing Raid during COVID, and that's when TikTok had come out. And I liked making the content, so I just started recording a couple of clips and uploading them to TikTok. And some point along the way, I was like, I have this YouTube channel. I could very easily just like take the TikToks and just upload them to YouTube and see what happens. I didn't really like set out to like, okay, I'm going to make a Raid YouTube channel. It was more like, I mean, I'm already just doing this messing around. Why not just upload it? And like, I probably got more views on the shorts than I did on, the Pokemon videos. So that kind of gave me a little bit of interest. And then eventually I just switched over to making videos on Raid, when I had time. I would say like the biggest catalyst, there are a couple things that really catalyzed the growth on my channel. Do you know Smiley TK?
Yeah.
So Smiley TK and I both were stuck in the we can't monetize our channels in like 2020. And so he and I had a contest where, we would like sort of promote each other's channels and like, I don't know, we did a bunch of different things, but we had a contest to see which one of us could get there first. And he beat me by one day.
Oh, wow. That's
it was
number.
really close, neck and neck. And so like, I'll be forever grateful to him for that. I don't know whether it was my idea or his or both, but he and I get along real well. And, his that contest really got the ball rolling for me. And then the second thing was streaming, and it was either Christmas 2020 or Christmas 2021, one of the two. I was talking to my brother, who is my technology advisor, and I said, I'm thinking about trying to stream also. Like, how hard is that? Like, you helped me set everything up for, like, a better way to record videos and whatnot. And he said, it's just pressing one button. And I was like, shut up. It can't be that easy. But as it turns out, once you have everything set up, like, you just press one button and you're live. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to start streaming then. And that was when Hell Hades was streaming a lot and getting like huge numbers, like thousands of people watching him. And I got a couple raids from him that gave me the exposure that I needed
Nice.
in order to like start that snowball of subscribers on YouTube. And then I guess the rest you probably kind of know with like the growth of the channel and whatnot.
Yeah, I started tuning into your channel. I always have trouble figuring out when I actually started playing Raid. It's like I'm mixing COVID in with different houses that I lived in and moved into, and it's like, yeah, I think it was actually in 2021, and so probably early 2021 I think is when I started playing. But I can't even remember the first fusion I did. I know I missed Brogni. I missed that fusion, but I started not long after that.
Cool. Well, we could probably track it down based on Brogni. But also, if you're playing the same account, your badge, it'll say class of whatever in the badges, and that'll at least tell you the year.
Then I have to download it again, though. And
you're not playing Raid right now?
I'm a successful remission.
Oh, okay.
Use case, right? So with the Pokemon Go, though, had you been a Pokemon card game fan as well? Did you like kind of catapult from Magic into Pokemon?
No.
Interesting.
No,
so you
I never got into Pokemon the card game. I was very much into Pokemon the video games. I had tons of hours on those growing up. And also the TV show. I had watched the entire show with my kids. And also, I mean, when the game came out, I have 3 sons now. 2 of them are twins, and they were 10 when Pokemon Go came out. So it was literally the best thing ever for the 3 of us. Yeah. We would just go play Pokemon Go together all the time. It was awesome. One of my favorite memories in my life.
Yeah, anything you can get the kids involved in and like do it as a family thing that's super fun for you is just a big win. Yeah. With the videos that you were shooting though, like I always like to hit oldest on somebody's channel to see like the first few videos that they shot. They are still there. Yeah. But are you like shooting with one phone and playing on another phone like while you're doing these videos? So what I would
do is and like part of the reason why the Pokemon Go videos are a difficulty level above my skill level for editing. It would be easier now that I know what I know now, but what I would do is I would record with the camera, walk around with the camera, and then I would screen record on the phone, and then I would upload both of those and try to edit them together.
I see. And so using the separate camera, was it a pretty good camera? Or was it just like you went out and grabbed something so you could make a YouTube video?
Yep.
It's great though. It's how so many good channels get started is somebody just using what they have versus dropping.
Oh yeah, if you're listening to this podcast and thinking about starting content creation, just start with whatever you have. Just literally don't worry about it. You don't have a camera, just use your mic. You don't have a mic, put the text on the screen. Like you just start wherever you're at.
I like how you were. Oops, I bought a card store, and then oops, I made a raid channel. It keeps happening.
Yeah. It's been great, actually. Because, like, I wanted to do content. Like, I've always had that, like, creative desire to, like, share my thoughts on, and, strategies on different things. And so, like, putting that into video format was just, like, that all made sense, I just, like, put all the things that I like into one format,
Do you now prefer streaming or YouTube, or is it really kind of 50-50?
I don't know how to answer that. I love both things. I don't like how much time streaming takes because I feel like I could be doing so many things, but I also love it. Like when I get to tell people that I live stream playing games and that's my job, like, it's the best. But I really love making the videos as well, I think it's just the creating and sharing that really is the thing that I like. And then the way that comes across can be a lot of different things. It could be making videos, it could be music, it could be the board games, it could be whatever,
And the time frame before you owned the card store, your primary income, you were teaching?
Yeah, I was a high school math teacher for 16 years.
Even after you bought the card store?
Yeah. Oh, okay. The card store never paid me a salary. Gotcha. I got paid in things, and I got paid in free tournament entries. Yeah. I mean, like, sure, over the years we got some paychecks, We took some business trips to like my favorite board game convention, Origins, in Columbus.
Oh, cool.
So like things like that, but it's not like I was getting a monthly salary from the shop. If that had been the case, I probably wouldn't have sold it.
Yeah, yeah. And then, so you moved on from the shop. How long did you have it?
Almost 10 years, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't remember the actual date that we opened, but yeah, something like that. Something like 10 years.
And you feel like your ability to sell cards is still there despite not owning the shop. Okay.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We will have to talk about this because all I've done is like make bad transactions and lose money on cards.
Okay. Well, when you're selling cards, you have to accept that you're going to get around 50% of their value.
Mm-hmm. And
then once you accept that that is true, then you can make a lot of money selling them. People want to like get the full value. Like when you look up a card's price, you're probably using TCG Player or something like that. And let's say that the card is $20. Then if it's not a huge desirable card, you're going to get $10 for it. If it's selling a lot of copies, then maybe you get $12 or $14, $15 for it. So there's a lot of factors on like what you can sell your card for, but don't focus on like, I don't want to say don't be greedy, but like just focus on what's the most amount of money that I can get. And usually that's from a buy list or from selling to somebody who buys cards.
Yeah. So one of the reasons I ask about the teaching and the card store is because there are a lot of content creators out there, the vast majority of content creators, right, who will never be able to do it for a living. So like at what point did it solidify for you that like I can do this and I don't have to have something else to supplement it?
Well, normally I would say when you're making the same amount of money as your job, that's a good way to phrase it. But like if I'm like full transparency, my doctor was like, you can't keep teaching. It is too stressful on you. You need to find another job.
I thought
and
you were
my
gonna
wife
say
my wife agreed with my doctor, and so when those two people agree on something, it's probably a good idea to follow that. So I knew that I was gonna quit that job because I couldn't stay there any longer. And so I was like, well, let's just give this a go. I wasn't making quite enough to feel comfortable. And I'm still not, if I'm being honest. Like I've been full-time for a year and a half now. And like, it's been pretty tight. But a big reason why it's been tight also is because I'm trying to fund this board game and get that off the ground. It's not just a board game, it's a board game business. Like I started a company, I have multiple board games planned. That is some of the most fun work I've ever done in my life. I would like to keep doing it. Yeah, nice. And so that's all going to be coming to a head here in the next month or so, which is awesome. But it wasn't, again, I guess it was more of a need. Like, I can't keep this job, so let's try and see what it's like full time. And I made enough that it's close to what I was making as a teacher. It's close enough, with cutting some things and doing a little bit of things different, that I was able to make it work.
Yeah. So this sort of lifelong being in the game industry, whether it was from the player standpoint, the writing standpoint, now not even the content standpoint, but like the generating a game standpoint. So let's talk about the game Alaria, right?
Alaria Quest, the Goblin King's Dungeon is the first game. Yes. So, I don't have it down
I think
here.
your background is some of your art for it.
It
right?
is, yeah. I don't know how much of you can see it, but on one side is the cowboy time wizard, and on the other side is the Goblin King. And so while I was teaching, there was this math game that I would play with my students. I had gotten like ideas about it. Like I didn't have the base idea was not mine. It was inspired from other things, but basically I made the game. You know, it was just like a fun game that we would play in my math class. And when I went full time after quitting teaching, I was talking with my brother and sister-in-law, not the two that are married. Like, I have multiple brothers. So, but anyway, I guess that's not that important. But she said something that really changed my life. She said, if you're thinking about starting this board game business, you should do the easiest game first. And now that I see how much time, effort, money has gone into the first game, I never would have made it work. I never would have made it work if I had stopped and done, you know, one of the bigger, longer games. I would never have gotten there. So that turned out to be life-changing advice. And that easiest game was Alaria Quest, which was built on this math game. So there's a little bit of a math component to the game, and I have even built lessons for teachers. So if we got teachers in the crowd, like you can use this in the classroom, and it's super fun, especially for the teacher. Even if the students whine and complain, it's still better than, you know, the other stuff that you can do. And so basically, it's like a D&D dungeon crawl where your goal is to fight the Goblin King. But you cut out all of the tactical movement, you cut out like the role-playing aspect, and you just focus on what are the significant plot points and what are the fights that you have to overcome in order to get that. So you take like a role-playing adventure and shrink it down into a 30-minute like fast-paced game that has a roguelike element and is different every time you play it. One of my favorite parts about it is it uses poker cards.
Oh, okay.
You use a standard poker deck plus 2 extra jokers, and the poker deck is half of the game, and then the other half is a fantasy quest deck, and the quest deck interacts with the poker deck, and you use the poker deck to overcome the traps and challenges, and you use the poker deck to create these combos to defeat the bosses.
Interesting. So, like, instead of using dice or some online RNG mechanic, you use a deck of cards as your sort of RNG mechanic. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And a lot of the fighting the boss is skill. You can get good at fighting the bosses. And I like that. You know, I think that's kind of like what we always wanted in role playing, is to like, I want to be that hero. And so the fact that beating the bosses is a skill that you can develop and improve, I think that like helps the immersion a little bit.
Oh, that's really cool. So then, is it technically a board game or is it a card game?
There's no board to it at the moment. Okay. I have been thinking about ways to add that in, but the most important thing about the game is that it is a quick, streamlined game that doesn't take all night to play. Like, you can get together with your friends and have dinner and have a quick game, 30 minutes, and you've had a ton of fun in 30 minutes.
Nice.
And I think, like, as adults, that's the hardest part, is getting everybody together, having enough time to do it, you know, with our busy lives. but
Yeah.
you can find time for 30 minutes for dinner and 30 minutes for the game. Like, that's a lot easier of a sell than, hey, come over to my house for 5 hours, let's play D&D.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
we got into like, we started playing a lot more Dominion because we could knock a game or two out in 30 to
Yeah.
45 minutes.
Yeah.
Where like anytime it was like, man, let's play Arkham Horror. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah.
We got to set aside 7 hours. Everybody's forgotten how to play.
Yep. Yeah, and then I came up with 4 expansions to go alongside of it, and each one of them changes the game in different and meaningful ways that are super interesting. And those are all coming out with the game.
So what is the state of it? Because I think you did a Kickstarter, right?
Yes, I had a fully funded Kickstarter in November. And the board games are on their way to me right now. I should be getting them, like, when this comes out, like a couple weeks after this comes out, I should be getting them. They're literally on their way to me. And so I'll be shipping out the Kickstarter games, and then I will be, I should be starting to take pre-orders already. I need to get on that. But I have 1,000 copies of the game. So I'll have plenty of extras to sell.
Right on. Where can people buy it from?
Right now on MtgJedi.com, there is a pre-order discount bundle that includes the base game, all 4 expansions, and shipping, as long as you're in the US. If you're not in the US, then we just need to talk. You just message me in Discord and we'll figure out how much shipping is. I want to ship it to wherever in the world, but like, I'm just going to do that on a case-by-case basis.
Sure, yeah. That's exciting, man. So you actually got it funded and you got it printed. One of the things that Pancakes talked about when he made his card game, he was like, if I had to go back and do it again, and if I was giving anybody advice, he's like, I would never make a physical game anymore. I would only make a digital game. And he started talking about the way that the card printing world works and how they have, like, you know, very little allocation time for somebody not named Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, or Magic. And he's like, it's really hard to get stuff printed.
You just got to find the right company to work with.
Yeah. You didn't end up having much trouble with it?
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, that part was actually, I think it's a smaller company, but it's a board game company. And so if you're dealing with a card game company, that could be completely different. The board game company, you know, I think they're just really awesome. I met them at Origins, actually. So that part just kind of fell into place. Like, before I was ready, I found the manufacturer. And so I had that part locked down. Like, they were my first option. I never changed. Like, I never really considered anybody else. Like, the price to print and ship everything was reasonable. I mean, it's a little difficult, like, working with people overseas, but, like, that's going to be true no matter who you're working with. So.
Sure, yeah. How much of it were you able to do by yourself?
Okay, so I designed all of the cards. I designed all of the card layouts. And if people didn't hate AI, then I wouldn't have gotten real artists to do the art. I would have just used AI art, and I could have been done a long time ago.
But you did end up using real artists.
Yes, I commissioned all of the art for the game. And basically what I used the AI for was the prompts for the artists. And that's been super helpful. Like, instead of just being able to send a paragraph of my specs, I can say, like, here's an example, and this is what I like and I don't like. Because a lot of what I want to do in making games is create things that don't exist already. Like, my version of goblins is obviously similar to things that exist, but it's different. Like, I don't necessarily like the designs that are out there. I want fun, devious, but also they could kill you. I don't want, like, horror goblins or, like, extremely gruesome ones. Like, I have a particular variety that I want. There are some new monsters that I created for the game. No reference points there. You know, I just like have to be like, can you do this? And, you know, can you come up with something that meets what I'm trying to do here? And that's been so fun. I love that part of it. But yeah, I commissioned all of the art, and the art is the biggest thing that other people did. Other than that, like, I ended up having to fire the editor who was going to do the layouts for the cards, and I just did that myself. I would like someone else to do it, but also I'm so particular. Like, if something's off on the card, I will notice it. And that's really hard for another person to, like, understand, I guess.
Yeah.
Eventually, at some point, I hope someone else will do that. But so I did the layouts. I came up with all the ideas. The mechanics, all of that is on me. Another thing that I outsourced was with the rule book and the layouts on the boxes. That was, I found a guy on Fiverr for that. He did an incredible job. I'll definitely hire him again. But yeah, the majority of the stuff I did myself.
Now that you've designed a game and having the background in math, does it sort of demystify everything? Like, when it comes down to it, are all games really just math and different, like, numerical interactions with each other?
I didn't come to that conclusion, no.
Oh, okay,
No.
good.
There's still some magic and mystery there. But what did come across was just an enormous, like, if you think about the amount of respect that I had originally, and we'll compare it to like a normal steep place where you would drive. You might even say like a mountain. Like, think about a mountain that you've drove over or through. And then, like, now compare that to like Mount Everest. That's the difference in the respect that I now have for other board game creators and just game creators in general, because until you're making your own game, you have no idea, no frame of reference of how much time and effort went into making the game. It's just so vastly more than what you would expect.
Than what you would have thought. Even already having the blueprint for it, like you did in the classroom.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Even like, I worked on it every day for a year and a half. And that was, I mean, just everything along the way took longer than you would think.
Did you have any of your old students play test it?
I did not have any of my old students play test it, but I did have some new students play test it.
Oh, okay. People who had experience with the like normal game that you were playing.
No, I never found any of those people. No, unfortunately not.
I'm curious now. I think I'm going to try to pick one up and play it with some friends. I was trying to find like some Upon Cakes card game, because they did a bunch of sets and then they quit making it. And unfortunately, things like this, they exist for a little while, and then if they stop being supported right, they just like go away, and then
they do
find them on the black market.
Yeah.
But it's good to hear that I can get
like groups that's one of that's one of your things. Oh, hey, let's play that game today. But yeah, I'll have to chat with him, because maybe I have some ways and methods that could get him back in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. He's good people. I can vouch. And so I guess that's an interesting topic. If we want to pivot to Godforge for a little bit, you were one of the very first Godforge content creators. When we look at your Godforge channel going way back, way before the alpha, and then come the alpha, kind of dropped off a little bit on the video creation.
Yeah. I really enjoyed here's the embargo information, the excitement surrounding that. Here are the exciting new reveals as we went along, gaining more information along the way. I really enjoyed that process. when it comes to making videos, I like being the first person to cover a topic. So that time period was pretty exciting for me. And then just like for me personally, the alpha just was not my thing. I know a characteristic about myself that I do not tend to like alphas or betas. I just would rather wait until the game comes out in its finished release version and play it then. And that's why I think I don't like games that have these big reset mechanics in the game, like Dragonair. I wanted to love Dragonair so much, but that seasonal reset, no, that's not for me.
Yeah.
And so when we have an alpha where you're just playing in this, it's not really the game.
Yeah.
And I think it's brilliant what they did. Like, the alpha is brilliant. I love that they did that. I have tons of respect for them for doing that. But it didn't captivate me the way I was expecting it to. I played it. I put a bunch of hours into it. It was interesting. I liked looking around and messing around with it. But I think just the subconscious knowing that it doesn't matter what I do or how awesome I am, I can't keep that.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't going to be the start of my account. This has nothing to do with my account. It's just like this anomaly that is in the Godforge universe, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for that experience, but it just didn't motivate me to make content on it. Like, I found myself thinking, like, what would I say? How would I cover it? And I didn't even make a video saying these things because I couldn't come up with enough information to, like, fill a video about it. And so I kind of just, like, put it aside, like, they stopped having sort of, like, bigger informational releases. And I think the other thing too is just, like, too long of a time period of anticipation. But with that being said, I am super excited about Godforge. I'm very excited about playing the game when it's actually released and seeing what that's like. Here's a little tidbit for you. I don't know. I actually I applied to work for them.
Oh.
Before I started working on my own board game, I applied to work for them. And that didn't work out, obviously. Like, otherwise you would know that I'm working on that game. And that's for the best because I was able to make my own game, which I'm very grateful for. But I've been interested in Godforge from the very beginning. Tons of respect for what they've done. And a lot of the ideas that I had of what a similar game to Raid would look like how could we improve that experience? A lot of those types of things, they have, made improvements or changes, or there's going to be things in the game that are cool, interesting, and different. And I think that's the part that I'm the most excited about.
Yeah. Yeah, there's quite a few things there that I kind of wanted to touch on. One of them, you mentioned the lack of permanency where you're sort of doing it in a microcosm. It's a one shot, it's going to go away. I remember that for Diablo 4, I've said this before on the show, that the most fun I ever had in Diablo 4 was during the beta when the level cap was 25 and a Shava took half an hour to kill. And it was like an actual danger, where, you've got all these people that are undergeared and an inability to be at that, sort of brick wall level or gear check level that you need to be to fight the boss, but yet we're still downing it. Like, that was the most fun. And then Diablo 4 comes out and I get the account permanency, and super fun to play through the campaign, but just didn't care about the game after finishing the campaign, right? And I was like, man, if I could relive that moment, like that one, thing that we got to do. And I think you just sort of appreciate those for what they are. For me, the Alpha Wave 3, the competition, even though I knew I really couldn't win it because I wasn't sweaty enough, it was fun kind of being in there in the pit with everybody, like watching people, overcome obstacles and lose sleep and, potentially ruin relationships just to try to win a trip to Vegas. But yeah, no, I agree with you. By the time it was over, it was like, well, to some extent, I got to do that again later in life. You know, but I think Simon's done a good job too. And he says out loud, you know, I don't want to tell you everything. He's like, I know everybody keeps asking me for this and that and the other, but like, I want there to still be a surprise, and there still be to some aspect of you don't know what you're getting into.
Yeah, and that's the exciting part, right? When I start playing Godforge, I want to be like, holy crap, I didn't know that was going to be in here, and then go make a video on that, you know? Yeah. Like, that's the part I'm very excited about. And I hope that the grindy part is as minimal as it can be. Like, I really just hope that they have implemented, like, nice quality of life features that are going to make the game enjoyable no matter what part of it that you're doing. I guess that's my biggest hope. Like, what's new and different in the genre, and how intense is the grinding?
Yeah. Are you still enjoying? If it's
optional grinding, totally fine. But if it's like mandatory to progress your account, then that's where it's like, you know, I'm choosing it versus I have to do it.
That's like the classic problem with Raid, right? Is that there are certain elements that you have to do for certain reasons. It's like you never have to do a fusion, but you should do most fusions, right? And then you create a schedule in your life around the game with deadlines to accomplish a fusion, you know? And then if you don't do the fusion because you think the character's dumb, then all of a sudden they kit change it a week after it launches, and you're like, well, crap, now I missed the
They have like they've calmed down on that a little bit, thankfully. Like, that's bad when they have to make changes. Oh man, that's the worst. But yeah, I like, one of the reasons why I've played Raid for so long. I like doing fusions. Champion training doesn't bother me. But I don't know that I would want to start another game where that was the same cycle. You know, I would want a different play pattern. I would want to be like, why would I go play Godforge if it's going to be the same exact thing as Raid? I'll just keep playing Raid.
Yeah, no, it's a good point.
You know, I'm sure better business practices and like running the game will be night and day different. That I know. But, you know, I think that Godforge has a unique position that they can innovate in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and be good faith actors about it, because there's a lot of these games that have come out, whether you want to call them Raid clones or not, but just gotcha games since Raid became so successful that the like development team, the community managers are just invisible. You don't know who you're dealing with. Maybe they're Korean. Like, there's a lot of these that have come out, right? And King Arthur's Legends Rise is a great example. First kind of Dragonair experience before it went black in the United States, right? Like, there's just a lot of these where you don't know what's going on. And that's one thing I love about Godforge, is that they're nothing but transparent and super available to everybody. So I hope they're successful as well. And I'm still excited for the game. I gave up on Raid primarily because of the time sink. I don't like the way I play Hydra. The way I play Hydra is like kind of OCD, and I can't not get a good score. And so I'm in and out of the fight, in and out of the fight, in and out of the fight. And like 5 hours later, I haven't accomplished anything. And I'm like, this is actually wasting my time.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel
you. For your Raid players out there, and for the Godforge people who still play Raid, are you still enjoying it? And like, what's your opinion on like the state of Raid right now in early 2026?
I do go through periods where I have high levels of frustration. There have been times where I thought about quitting, but overall, I still love the game. I still am excited to do stuff in the game every day. I'm still thrilled that there's a new faction and trying to get all the champions from the new faction, and I'm excited about Faction Wars coming out for it. Like, all of those things, I am enamored by the idea of what other IPs they're going to bring in. We're hoping like there's a big Mortal Kombat movie coming out. We're hoping that. Or there's a He-Man movie coming out, like bring He-Man back. So like the IPs has actually been a very positive thing for the most part for me. So yes, I'm still very much enjoying Raid. What is the state of the game? I think in the second half of 25, maybe all of 2025, it really seemed like the developers tried to work in all of these things we've been asking for years. Like now we have all these different quality of life features surrounding champion training. They're starting to work in more filters. Like all the things that should have been there, they should have done it the right way the first time, but they didn't. Now they're starting to add those in. And with the addition of the Grim Forest, it's just the best PvE game mode. It's so awesome.
I haven't played it, obviously, because I quit before that. But how is it different from, like, I think I was playing Crimson City was the latest content?
Yeah, oh yeah, Curse City. So,
Curse City, yeah.
Curse City, the way they have restrictions on your champions is every single level, there is a different pool of champions that you could possibly use. But maybe you don't have them on your account. Maybe you have, like, 2 level 50 epics and some rares. Like, you have no legendaries, you have no one level up. How are you supposed to beat that? It seems unfair. It seems like the people who spent a bunch of money on the game who have like 1,000 champions leveled up, like they're going to have fun because they can use their whole roster. But even the people who have 1,000 champions leveled up, some of the restrictions are just pure stupidity. Like, you played when Terrace and Marichka were in the game, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to fight double Terrace, Marichka, and 2 other high-powered legendaries with epics?
Right.
That's an actual stage. I'm not exaggerating. That's a stage. And so Curse City, the way that they restrict the content or make it more difficult, I don't think is appealing to most people. And therefore, there's a lot of stages that I skip. In the hardest part. The hardest part is called what is it? Actually, Cintranos?
No. Oh, I think so. Right? Or is that the name of the whole area?
I don't know why I'm blanking on this. But
yeah, this is your job. What are you doing?
It's my job. Hold on. We'll go Soul Cross. Okay, Soul Cross. But anyway, the rest of Curse City, even with those crazy restrictions, is doable because the stats on the waves are not as bad. In Soul Cross, the stats on the waves are like, take the best players in the world, their level of champions, and that's what it feels like. And you're trying to fight that with epics. And that is just not fun. I'm not having fun with that. That is not for me. The difference between that and Grim Forest is like you have actual choices of where to go. In Curse City, it's railroading. Yes, you have choices, but you have to go along this path with very little variation. There's some choices, but it's like you have to go this way. In Grim Forest, it's really like a grid, and it is covered up. So when you explore it, it reveals the map and new locations. The bosses, there's 4 main bosses, 1 major boss, and they're hidden all around the map. And Plarium was like, hey, if you want to, you can fight them all together, or you can fight each of the mini bosses separately, and then you've defeated them so that they're not in the final boss fight.
Oh, okay.
But the ability to fight 5 bosses at one time, we've never seen anything like that before. That's a whole new difficulty.
beeline strategy, make it hard on yourself, but then there's also a pick them apart, like an Alterac Valley sort of situation.
Right. And I love that. You choose the difficulty. So, like, I beat the boss with 3 of his minions, but I haven't beat the boss with all 4. That seems impossible. Other people have done it, but it is very challenging. Beating each of the bosses individually is like beating any of the dungeon bosses. They're interesting and difficult, but, like, beatable. But the part of, like, actually exploring the map, where you get to choose where you go, there's a bunch of new bosses and new content. Obviously new gear and new items and all that kind of stuff. But it's perfect. They did it so well. And that has revitalized a lot of people's fun in Raid, is Grim Forest. Hopefully they'll find ways to make that new, interesting, and different as time goes by. Plarium does not really do a good job of that, so hopefully they will be able to figure that out, because, like, how much more content can we add? Like, we're reaching a limit of it is physically not possible for somebody to do all of these things in one day. But, you know, to summarize your question, yes, I still love Raid. I'm still excited to log in. I'm still excited to get these new champions that they keep adding in the game, like all of it. I'm still in it.
Nice. All right, well, it wouldn't be a Ned Consumes the World podcast if we didn't talk about music for a little bit.
All right,
sweet. Curious to hear about the role of music in your life.
Well, I was in a band in college with my brother.
All right, good start.
And we did just straight acoustic, like acoustic emo pop punk type stuff.
Oh, that's fun.
Yes. And pop punk, like, that genre is like, if I had to pick my favorite genre, it would be that. There's no other question. And I also listen to a lot of, like, metal hardcore stuff, especially if it has, like, any kind of pop punk influences. But I also really love the EDM genre, like that, whatever version of the electronic music that I find appealing, I just pick and choose. But I have a vast array of artists in all of that area.
Yeah. With the acoustic emo pop punk band, was it 2 guitars then?
Sometimes. I was never the best guitarist. I loved writing the lyrics and singing and stuff. My brother did most of the playing. There were a couple songs where, yeah, there were 2 guitar parts. But if I'm being honest, like, if we had found success in that, I would have added another guitarist instead of me playing. It just, like, I know that I was not the best at it. That's not to say that I couldn't play and write songs. It's just, like, I'm limited by what I can do. But yeah, there were definitely some songs. A buddy of mine recorded a second guitar part on a couple songs. It was a good time.
I like that sound, actually. I like the sound where you sort of translate, like, a distortion song into an acoustic guitar, and then you have, like, a harmony on, like, another guitar when you're doing that sort of coffee shop vibe. But what gave you the idea to do that? And was it original or was it covers?
Oh, no, it was all original. Actually, I had a very hard time playing other people's music. I found it much easier to learn the chords and create my own music. Actually, that was much easier for me. The biggest inspiration, probably Dashboard Confessional. Okay, this is like one of my favorite artists of all time, right in line with everything I was trying to do. And you had asked another part to that question, but I don't remember what it was.
I kind of forgot as well. I started thinking about you mentioning the blend of metal, and I was who was that? I was talking to DLDS, and I think he was mentioning it was 4 Year Strong.
I love 4 Year Strong. Absolutely.
It was like his buddy that he was in Scouts with was like the singer or something like that.
Really? Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, he said they would listen to the demo tape on the way to scout camp or something like that, like
That's
before they
awesome.
got really big.
Yeah, I'm an Eagle Scout as well, so that fits right in with me also.
There you go. Have you listened to the Pears? Are you a Pears fan?
No, I don't know them.
Oh, you should check it out then. If you like both metal and hardcore and pop punk, it's a
Yeah,
really fun blend of all that. Where like
definitely will add that to my list.
I
The
think the Pears or just Pears. I always call them the Pears, but I think it's just
Yeah.
Pears.
Okay, yeah, definitely. We're checking that out as soon as the podcast is over.
Yeah, they're I think punk band first, but you can hear all of the hardcore and emo influences,
Oh,
especially
yeah,
in
that's
the
awesome.
guitar
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
I'm
But
a
yeah,
I'm a big
I
fan of
love
them.
going to shows. You know, like I used to go to Warped Tour every year.
Yeah.
Now my buddy and I, he lives like an hour and a half away. Like we get together and go to shows a couple times a year, whenever we can. Um, I was able to take my wife to a festival. I took my son to a different one. It's been cool. Yeah, I just really like everything. I like everything about like going to shows. It's just a fun. You're in a whole other world for a
Yeah.
night or a weekend or whatever. And I like those type of experiences. I think that's why I liked Magic so much, is because of that. You know, you go on a trip for the weekend and you're in this convention world, and it's outside of your normal life.
There's a band. It's like the top of my tier list for I want to see live that I have not yet seen live. They're called Sun. A lot of people call them Sun O, but the way you spell it's a vibration symbol. So it's SUNN, and then the O has a bunch of parentheses past it, and it was like the symbol for some amplifier or something. But like if you listen to it on YouTube or anybody that's listening, Spotify, anything like that, you're gonna say this is garbage. Like, why would you ever listen to this? Because it's like this weird hooded cultish metal band, and they play
Okay.
like one chord at a time for like
Uh-huh.
a full minute, and then every now and then there's a trombone. And but
Okay.
the shtick is they're the loudest band on the planet. So when you go to the shows, you have to wear earplugs. It's like non-negotiable. There's a
Oh.
wall of amplifiers, and when they hit that one chord, they let it ring, and the whole place that they're playing vibrates. And so if
Oh.
you're standing in the crowd, you're just vibrating for like an hour. And
Interesting.
I've wanted to go to the show for so long, and I crossed the wires on a buddy of mine where like I was like, let's go to this. He was like, yeah. And then the night came and he didn't answer my phone call. So I didn't
Oh.
go. And then he texted me from the show. He's like, where are you? And I was like, dude, I thought, and he, the way he described it, he's like, I just walked into Blade Runner. Like I'm living in Blade Runner. It's just colors and noise and motion.
Wow. That's crazy.
So that's, yeah, top of my tier list. I agree though. I really miss live music. I did a lot of live music and like just punk shows, $5, $10 shows. It's
I
like my
know. I
favorite
was
thing.
trying to explain that used to be a thing to my son, and he just had such a hard time relating to that. Like that's just not in his world right now. But yeah, I'm real particular with the music that I play on the live streams and stuff. I take like a lot of time to like find specific music that I'm allowed to play. And like some people have like really, gave like very nice compliments. Like people notice that I have put a lot of time into curating the playlists. I actually don't think that I could stream if I didn't do it that way. Like I have to do it that way for me to enjoy streaming. The music is just like a very important part.
Can you play whatever you want on stream?
No, you have to do the no copyright stuff. So
Okay.
it's effortful to find services that have that, and then to look through and listen to enormous amounts of music to find
Just to
the
find the
actual good
gems.
stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And now I've started writing my own music again, so that's been really exciting.
Nice.
And I want to release it, but I know there's just like so many haters. I'm kind of scared to release it, but it's good. I would much prefer if I could find artists to, like, buy the songs off of me. But it's been really, really enjoyable writing songs again.
If you have recordings, you can just like weave them into your playlist while you're streaming and never say anything about it. Like people are listening to it and you don't even call attention.
Yeah, I broke the ice one time, so they know now, or at least some of them do. But I have a whole playlist of songs that I wrote. So we listen to that from time to time.
Well, I know you got a hard stop coming up, so I want to give you a little buffer there. But I appreciate you stopping by the show. I appreciate your time and joining, and I look forward to when the game comes out, seeing if the Godforge channel picks back up or not. So we're gonna link that one and the raid channel and the website below for anybody who's interested in Alaria and get a copy. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, awesome. You guys can hit me up in Discord if you have questions or anything. I'll certainly be checking the comments of the video on the YouTube side with this podcast. It's been awesome talking to you, dude. I feel like we have so much in common, and I love doing stuff like this. I'm glad we could make it work. It's been an absolute blast. So make sure you guys made it all the way to the end of the video podcast. You are a like button presser. And you put in the comments, what is your favorite part of the episode, or the thing that you have the most contention about? What's something I said? So, and I'll go down and check.
Ooh, yeah, comment drama.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, thanks again, and thanks everybody for listening. Peace.